I'm sure you'd all heard tell of Hitler. When Hitler heard my mother was pregnant with me, he talked himself. He gave up. Praise God. Well, a wee bit of background. There was 12 of us. I was number 6, that's as near the middle as you can get. 5 older, 6 younger. That time, times were pretty tough, but we never went without. But the mother and father looked after us. They were very strict, but we never come short. One of the most confusing things I had to deal with during my lifetime was figuring out the difference between religion, churchianity, Christianity. Because we had to go to church twice every Sunday, and no reflection on the church or the Sunday school teachers. It was my attitude. We had to go to church twice every Sunday. We weren't asked where we go, and we were told we're going, that was it. Then when you went to church, you daren't look round, you daren't speak, you daren't move. You could only move your eyes because nobody could see the eyes moving. Because if they're not looking forward, they're not going to see. I didn't hear much of what was preached, but there was different times whenever. I remember one time a minister, and he said, God's everywhere. And I thought to myself, that's very hard to believe because I can't really see him, so he's not here. I was a bit like a Russian astronaut that after he come back from space and he was going around the schools telling about his experience. And whether he knew or not, we don't know, that there was a missionary's son in the class that day at a university. And he said, if there's anybody here that can tell me if there's a God, why I didn't see him when I was up in space. The young fella spoke up and he said, well, the Bible says only the pure in heart can see God. So it was a bit like that with me. And then one other time a master said, God is here. And I had a look around again and I said, well, I doubt that, but maybe if he would keep quiet, maybe God would speak. And I never doubted the presence or the existence of God, but I questioned the very fact that we would gather there twice a week. And as far as I was concerned, God never turned up. Well, maybe he did, but I just didn't see him. I didn't know that he was there. So whenever I got a bit older, there was nothing there to hold. There was nothing there that really held on to me. And things got from bad to worse. When we were small, we used to go to visit our grandmother, and I had an uncle, and he was an alcoholic. His lifestyle was work, drink, sleep, work, drink, sleep. 7 days a week. Well, he didn't work on Sunday, but 6 days a week was work. Drink was 7 days a week. And whenever we'd go to visit there, and mother and father wouldn't be in the room, and he would be sitting drinking, he got to the stage. He didn't go to the pub, he brought the drink home with him. And he go at different stages, whenever we'd just be running around there, and he'd say, drink that up for your mass easy. And many a night we went home not knowing what any of us was up. But it was all the work of the devil trying to pull us into an ungodly situation. So whenever we got a bit freer and started to move about, go to church on Sunday morning and go racing on the tomb airdrome in the afternoon, back to church at night. That was our Sunday. It was only God that was keeping me alive. Many accidents, more than I can even count or think about tonight. I know I come off a motorbike 3 times with no helmet on other times. There's times when I had more stitches in my head than I had in my coat sometimes. But the hand of the Lord had to be upon me to keep me. Always was fond of boxing. From I was knee high, I remember sitting watching the boxing with my uncle. He worked just across the hedge from the primary school where I attended, and he would coach me through the hedge. Whenever a fight would start, he would say, use the right, use your jab, pull on the left. And that was his instruction through the hedge. And I had a bad accident very young in age that left me nearly blind for a number of years. I broke more glasses, I lost more glasses. I don't know how my mother managed to keep me in glasses, because every other week it was on the bus, go to Marshallfeld, get another pair of glasses. Because sometimes I threw them off and lost them, sometimes I headbutted somebody with them on, and that was the end of them. So it was geared that way. My training equipment was an 8-stone bag of artificial manure. Lift it up, practice with it. The back wheel of a Ferguson tractor, up and down. That was all the gear we had. There was no such thing as the modern gear that we have now. I used doors as practice for punching and headbutts until I was banned. Too many doors could burst, so I finished up and I had to use the wall to punch and to headbutt. So you can imagine if you're used punching or headbutting a wall, what it meant whenever somebody's head was there. And that's the way it went. When I got into a boxing club, I thought it was great having the proper equipment. But then it was taking that experience, that knowledge out and using it in the wrong way. Go to live in Belfast for 3 months, away from all the regulations. Everything, there was no holds barred. My uncle had warned me, now you're going into a different environment. There'll be no clean fighting. It'll be gangs. There'll be chains, there'll be knives. But that didn't matter. I knew if I could get near enough, not going to get a knife out, they're not going to get a chain out. If I'm within reach of a headbutt, that's good night. So I've been through that time in Belfast, living next door to an off licence. It was under the off licence. Up to Thursday night we were usually broke, we had no more money. So we had to just amuse ourselves other ways on a Thursday night till we got paid on a Friday morning again. The same, I just was breaking into a pattern. I couldn't see it then, but I see it now as I look back on it. It was a generational curse just coming down another generation. Because I was getting into that situation where it was work, drink, sleep, work, drink, sleep. I couldn't sit on a bar, that would get to me. So I just had an agreement with a barman in Dipperstown. I knocked the front door and he brought me the black bush to the front door. On with it, and that was me to the next night. And just, well, I'll tell you one typical night, just, I don't want to glorify the devil, and God doesn't know what I'm talking about because it's all gone. This is just a typical night, this is not a one-off. But we went to a dance, and I had a girlfriend with me. I'll just call her Calamity Jane because that was her nickname I had for her. I don't remember how we got there, but I know we were there, and I remember I was in a good mood because I smiled at the doorman, paid him. Because normally I just walked on in and dare them come and get it if they wanted to. But I mind smiling at him walking on in, and as soon as I walked in, and this turkey was standing. His waistcoat button down here and his chest sticking out through it like a turkey. Bouncer. And immediately in my mind that turkey become a Wooly. Will he give me an opportunity or will he not? And I looked round and there's one at the other side of the door, and it's going to be a bit of fun tonight. But I was so much attracted to these two bouncers, just waiting the opportunity. Unknown to me that night, but I discovered later there was a ruckus going on behind me that I knew nothing about. When this bouncer come tearing across the floor, I thought he was coming at me, but he was coming at the people behind me. So Wally did what I wanted him to do, and I switched his light out. The whole place broke, and they're free for all. Calamity, she said, I'm not feeling well, you may carry me out. So I picked her up and I was going out through the door with her, and I met the police coming in. They had to come and sort the thing out. And I was going out, a friend said to me, do you need a car? I said, it'll be useful. He says, here, take mine. He said, just one problem. I said, what's that? He said, the foot brake's not working. Oh well. Still a handbrake. So I got Calamity on, but she was only bluffing to get me out from the police. There was snow on the ground, there was black ice in the road. I remember going around this corner and hitting the black ice and going sideways down this hill and toppled over on her side, the bottom of the hill. I remember saying, Calamity, is one sit not enough for you? What are you doing over here? She was lying on top of me. To what she replied, if you wanted me to sit on your knee, all you had to do was say. If sense had been explosive, the two of us wouldn't have had enough sense to blow her nose. But I scrambled out from under her and up and opened the passenger door where the roof light should have been if there had been such a thing. And I got out and I says, come on, Jane, give me your hand. She says, I'm not climbing out there. Well, I says, you hold tight because I'm going to throw this bucket back on its wheels. So she decided then better get out. So I was pulling her out, who turned up with the parish priest. He says, can I help? Well, I called the police. I said, that wouldn't be helping me. But I said, if you want to help, you can give me a hand to throw this bucket back on its wheels. She says, two men couldn't do that. Well, I said, stand clear then. I caught a hold of that thing and I threw it back on its wheels. Spare wheel, jack, everything in the boot was spread over the road. Got all gathered up. Priest and Calamity there stand having a conversation in the middle of the road. I heard him saying, your young friend must be on the shock. She said, no, he's not on the shock, that's something normal. So I got all three on the car and I said, right, Calamity, on the car we're going. She said, I'm not getting in that car tonight again. Well, I said, enjoy your walk home. But she did get on rather than walk home. That was just a normal night. Nothing special about it. That's just the way things went. And then one day, my aunt said to me, there's a man coming to Castle Dawson Presbyterian Church and he prays for the sick. Would you take me down? And I said I would. Because one church good as another. If I'm there with her, I don't have to go to my own. So come Friday night, I wrecked the car again. Crippling about, but I took her on Sunday morning. And I don't know what the man preached about. I don't even know what the man looked like. But I was there in the back seat. A bit of a hassle before I got onto the